I welcome you all the viewers who are viewing this video. I, Dr. Santosh Sanodiya, covering the module session on engineering graphics, a complete solution move to engineering graphics. And with continuation of all the previous academic modules, today I am giving you all learning about the different methods, different solution methods for constructing the ellipse, parabola and hyperbola. So with respect to all these particular situations, I am directly coming to the topic because all the respective points we were discussed in our previous class or previous lectures, which I have recorded for the general method considered for ellipse, parabola and hyperbola. But there are some different methods which is needed to construct a different methodology and tools and techniques for the construction of ellipse, construction of parabola and construction of hyperbola. So with that particular section, that is all very much particular about engineering graphics, that there are different 4 methods for construction of the ellipse, for parabola and hyperbola. So with the help of that all methods, you all will be able to understand about the concept of learning and how to construct that particular conic sections with the help of concern part that is going to be followed. So here the ellipse, parabola, hyperbola having different methods in this conic section part. So we were already discussed the general method of all these 3 particular topics, ellipse, parabola and hyperbola. So today the different methods like concentric circle method, rectangle method, oblong method, arc of circle method. This method is very much important to learn for all the academic students of engineering. So all the concerned students of engineering and technical institution wings, everybody should know that the method of drawing for ellipse, parabola and hyperbola, because this is very much concerned about the production line of the industries and their manufacturing divisions. So I welcome you all the students. So this is the first feature which I have already discussed in our previous videos. One cone is going to be how cut by the help of different positions considered as a cutting plane, and these curves appear on the surface of a cone when it is cut by some typical cutting planes. So the ellipse, parabola and hyperbola is going to be shown here, and their cut surface is followed section plane parallel to their end generators, section plane through generators and section plane parallel to the axis. These 3 basic positions of the cutting plane which is cut by the cone at different positions. And already eccentricity all of you have known, because the eccentricity is less than 1 means with the help of general method constructing ellipse. If it is equal to 1, eccentricity is equal to 1, then it is used for construction of parabola general method or directrix focus method. We can say that parabola, and hyperbola if that value is greater than 1. So here by concentric circle method, let us understand about the how to draw ellipse by concentric circle method. So here we are taking major axis 100 millimeter and minor axis 70 millimeter long, A, B, C and D positions. So from the center point, we are drawing the circle at both the ends from this common center A to B covered by the circle as a radius, from center position to A or center position to C for the another circle. Both will be divided into 12 number of equal parts, name as shown here. Internal and external positions of the circle having, because concentric, why we are concentric saying this method? Because both the circle is going to be followed from the common center. So both axes has perpendicular bisector of each other and name their ends as shown. So from all these points of the outer circle, draw vertical lines downward and upward respectively. From all the points of inner circle, draw horizontal lines and to intersect those vertical lines. So see this, all horizontal line intersect vertical lines. So this mechanism is going to be, gives you understanding that the common intersection point is going to be marked for making the following curve. So these are the points which we mark from the intersection of the vertical as well as horizontal intersection lines. So after that, mark all intersecting points properly as through the points on ellipse and join. We are going to join all these points along with the ends of both axes in smooth possible curve. It is required ellipse. So when we pass a curve through these points, we'll get the required ellipse. So this is a concentric circle method. Again, see this particular part. All these lines is going to be followed horizontal and vertical. And then all the horizontal line intersect all the vertical lines, identify these points and follow the curve that gives us ellipse. So this is one of the engineering problem through which you all are able to understand that how concentric circle method will helpful to construct an ellipse. Second one is the for ellipse rectangle method. Everyone can see that we are again taking here the major axis 100 millimeter and minor axis 70 millimeter and create a rectangle first with major and minor axis both. And with this one of the division is going to be followed for number of equal parts. Suppose A2 center point of the major and minor axis, the distance is distributed into 4 equal parts. Suppose that, and same 4 equal parts is going to be distributed according to the distance A2 vertical line from the extension of the D point horizontal line. So with all the vertical first 1/4 section of the rectangle join from the D point, all the lines should be now join all the vertical points 1, 2, 3, 4 to the upper end of the minor axis and all the horizontal points 1, 2, 3, 4 to the lower end of the minor axis. So upper point and lower point of the minor axis is going to be concerned here. From horizontal line it is passing through and from the vertical line it is going to be joined at D. And when then extend this C to 1 line up to D1 intersect and mark that point. Suppose that see this. Similarly C to 2 mark at 2. Okay, C2 2 and C3 C4 lines up at D2 D3 D4. So these points are going to be followed here at D1 D2 D3 and D4 lines. Mark all these points properly and join all along the ends A and D in a smooth possible curve. Do similar construction in right side part along with lower half of the rectangle and join all the points in the smooth curve so that it is the required ellipse. So with the help of this method, you all will be able to understand that how this construction will help you to construct the ellipse with rectangle method. So simple example is to follow this procedure. I'm repeating once. 1, 2, 3 join with D, then horizontal line 1, 2, 3 join with C, intersect at extension from point D, D1, D2, D3, and identified this particular intersection point. Follow this curve, and same replica is going to be followed to the second half. Then followed the same curve, and it is going to be passing through all the 4 sections of the rectangle. So this is the required ellipse by rectangle method. So I think all of you can understand this very clearly, or it is clear to all how to construct it. Then next method is the oblong method. Oblong method is called as the parallel line method. So everybody should understand that why this method is going to be followed here as construction of ellipse. So by oblong method, steps are similar to the previous case, but only a rectangle part or rectangle method is going to be followed here. That is only one of the segment. So with the help of this parallel line method, all the rectangular line, rectangle method procedure is going to be followed, same as 1, 2, 3, 4, joined at D, and from horizontal line 1, 2, 3, joined at C, and same is going to be passing through that particular part, and this parallelogram is inscribed at 75-degree angle. So all the parallel lines, inclined parallel lines, is going to be followed at 75-degree. So with the help of this particular segment, this curve is going to be followed and completed at the end. So this is the required ellipse by using oblong method. So I think everyone can understand this particular part. Then this is one of the arc of circle method. By using the arc of circle method for making an ellipse, in this major axis and minor axis is going to be followed, A to B and C to D. At that particular end, the distance is going to be followed. Draw both axes as usual, name the ends and intersecting points. So with this particular part, P1, P2, P3, P4, and at the second end, P1, P2, P3, and P4 points is going to be followed. Repeat this step with the same center, but taking now A2 and B2 distance for drawing arcs, name the point P2. Similarly, get all the points P. P can be located below the AB. At the same end, P1 position like this, P2 position like this, at the same distance, and we can make it curve throughout the possible ways. So join all these points by smooth curve to get an ellipse. Here, this method is called as the arc of circle method because we are using taking AO distance half major axis from the C and mark F1 and F2 on A to B, focus 1 and 2 on line F1 to O, the same distance, making a distance mark from 1 to 3 and 4, and taking F1 center with the distance A to 1, that is going to be draw an arc above A, B, and taking F2 center with B to 1, the same distance, and cut this arc, name the point P1. So likewise, the same common point P2, P3, P4 is going to be identified, and it is going to be followed for the second right side and all the bottom two half section of this major and minor axis. With the help of this arc of circle method is going to be used for constructing an ellipse. So with these possibilities, all these three construction and general method, as you have already known, and this is the general method where the point F is going to be fixed at some distance, and that particular segment is going to be followed for focus and vertex and directrix, and that will help to construct this particular ellipse using the general method as we have already discussed in previous lecture. So this is the part of parabola means ellipse using different methods. So ellipse is going to be followed here with the help of 4 methods: arc of circle method, concentric circle method, and rectangle method, oblong method, and directrix focus method or general method. So I think all of you should be able to understand that how this particular structural parameter differently used in industries for their manufacturing and production line for any of the engineering material which is going to be customized for the respective segment of utilization. So thank you so much for viewing this video, and I will continue for different method for parabola and hyperbola in the next video. So must watch. Thank you so much, everyone.